Hi, welcome to today's video diary for finding my way with Pi, purpose, intention, and emotion. I am Pi, and I have figured something out regarding identity. So yesterday's video diary number 127, I talked about identity, essentially the metamorphosis of self. What happens with identity when you go through a major life change? When what you may have considered your identity before is no longer there and is going under transformation. There's also an aspect of identity that I want to talk about, and that is what you do, what actions you take most regularly do help form an identity that you associate yourself with. I think this is just like a human nature, perhaps even a truth. It's just kind of a pattern. So here's what I mean. If you write and publish books, in journals, articles, you may associate with the identity of being an author. If you travel regularly and give presentations and or speeches, you may be considered a speaker. And associate with that identity of being a speaker. If you help people with their finances regularly and you've got subject matter expertise in financial matters, you may associate with the identity of being a financial advisor. In my situation, I worked in a business for 2 decades and the most recent years as an executive leader, and therefore I associated part of my identity as being a corporate executive leader. When I left my job, that identity is undergoing a change, just inherently in the nature of I'm no longer in that role. Now, there are some other identities I carry with me, of course. I'm a mom. I'm a wife. I'm a friend. I'm a sister. I'm a daughter. Those types of things. But also want to layer in this aspect of what you do, the actions you regularly take impact the identity that you associate with yourself. This is pretty key here. This means that you have the power and the ability in yourself to choose the actions that you take most regularly and therefore to cultivate an identity for yourself. So, for example, I love writing. I would love to publish a book. I would love to publish weekly, like on a blog or something like that. If I would like to cultivate that identity of being a blogger or being an author, I then need to create the habits and the rituals in my life where I'm putting in the work and the time and the effort and the repeated, consistent effort that then helps me become that identity. Make sense? I'm putting this all together in my head too, because this is the realization that I had through some conversations with Hubby. So yesterday during video 127, talking about that metamorphosis of self and identity, was feeling sadness. And part of that is letting go of what I formally formerly identified myself with. And I found another layer of it. I kept, kind of circling around this. How am I contributing? What income am I bringing in to the family? And, just what does that look like then if I'm not a corporate executive leader? Here's the thing. I wanted to be a corporate executive leader. Maybe not even that so specifically. I don't know. I just wanted to contribute at a high level, and I loved my people. There are aspects of being a leader that I absolutely love. I just think I was in the wrong place. So it was never like with this single-minded drive to get to this outcome that only resulted in money. That was not me. I cared about my people, and I cared about what we were building. That's the part of leadership that I loved. And when, I was unable to build that because of the starvation of resources, then that's when the burnout and everything just downhill for 4 years, okay? But I was contributing to my family financially at that point, and now I'm not. And now also, I am being very intentional about where I'm spending my time and what type of work I want to be doing. So I am writing more. I am working in my master's program in happiness studies. I am beginning to do this work, like finding my way with Pi around emotional well-being and whole being. I love this work. I want to continue to do this work. I am going to build routines for myself so that I can become and focus on what I want to be, okay? What identity I want to associate myself with. It hit me that I want to put that first. I don't want to be thinking about the income. I would just want to put this first, the work that I'm called to do, and then trust life that the income will follow in some way, shape, or form. It's just not going to be in necessarily, maybe it will, I don't know. I'm just trusting life that this will unfold, but it may not look like it looked like it won't fit in this pretty little box of a corporate job like it did before. For me, it might look different. The part that I kept getting hung up on, though, is that I felt as if this was not 100% my choice. Let me clarify what I mean. In order for me to pursue that, it would require the partnership and the support of Hubby. And in order to get that, I wanted Hubby to know this is what I mean, truly what I mean. Do you have an expectation I'm going to go just check the box and get a job and bring an income? Or are you okay if I approach it this way? Because what does that mean for Hubby? If we're a single income family, then he is carrying that burden right now, right? So here's the thing about relationships. It's all interconnected, right? I can say to him, be my honest self and speak my truth and say, this is what I'd like to do. I know in order to do that, it would require this of you. His job is then to be honest with me and say whether or not that sounds okay to him. It does or it doesn't, or somewhere in between. And then we together, being honest with ourselves and being honest with each other, differentiated from each other and yet interdependent, then we can have these conversations to figure out how that works. We kind of already have been. We've already got the financial strategy and all of that set up. But the part about it that I didn't know yet, I guess, I had not explicitly said was that, no, I don't want to approach this like I've done it before. I don't know what it will look like, but I know I need to do the work. I am called to do and that I am passionate about. And I'm trusting life that that will work out. It's just may not look like a traditional job. And I don't know what that looks like then. So what I'm saying is, how do you feel about that then? Because that just leaves an unknown as to whether or not, when, if income comes in from my side of the relationship. And we hadn't necessarily discussed it in those terms yet. It's always just been like we've got runway and we'll figure out when it happens. And then as I've been going through this metamorphosis, for lack of a better description, it really is what it feels like. But as I've been going through that, I've been realizing I really want to do this work that matters to me. So that's what we discovered. Those are the conversations that we are now having. And it's, I don't know what the right word is. Liberating. It's very caring and compassionate to have these very authentic, honest conversations with each other. It strengthens our relationship. We both and each individually have our emotions as we're going through it, fears, uncertainties, unsettled emotions, all of those things. But what we now get the benefit of doing when we're honest with each other, or I guess I shouldn't say now, because I feel like we've been doing a good job with this, but what we get to continue to have the benefit of as we're honest with each other is those open conversations and figuring this out together and moving forward together. So just another layer of all of it. And again, the future is unknown, but I know that when you consistently put time and effort into something and you're getting education and training and guidance, things work, things unfold, life works. So trust life. So that is what I'm thinking about today. And that is what I wanted to share. Just that realization that for me, I think that's what was holding me back from fully determining and deciding and committing to this new identity that I wanted to pursue for myself, these new goals, because in my mind that meant something that would require some input and support from someone else, from Hubby, in order to pursue. So that's important. I should never, just assume. And at the same time, he should never just say what he thinks he wants me to hear. Like, yeah, I want you to pursue your dreams and just go. No, speak your truth so that we can both figure this out together. So I'm proud of us for doing that. Maybe we'll be able to do a video diary together again here soon, but I just wanted to share that little tidbit that is part of the metamorphosis for me and my situation with the relationship that we have. So, alrighty. Thanks for being with me on this journey. I'm so glad that you're here, and I hope it helps you too. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.